Hey, it's Jimmy, and y'all watching the Comic Hall Crew on YouTube.
Yo, yo, yo. Your eyes do not deceive you. It is Sunday, and we are the Comic Hall Crew. And we are here for our annual Black History Show, episode 1. Special guest in the building, Brother Bradley from Hero.
Thank you.
Always welcome to be here.
Thanks for having me, man. I love these.
Yep. We've got Brother Al in the building.
With my ashy hands, I'm sorry, y'all. It's due to my chemo. So ashy Larry.
That's your Larry.
Might go get some moisturizer. I'm sorry.
And then we've got my collecting partner, tag team partner in crime, Brother Rico. Black Key Comics is in the building.
Hey, man, put this right there on these hands.
New tippy?
Yeah, man. That coconut oil. Let me tell you something, cuz you have to pry this from my dead hands.
Hold it up like the Undertaker urn, boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get some of that new tippy. Appreciate that, Rico.
Yeah, so we all know what the night is, but I did something special today. I have something special for everybody. Since this is a Black History themed show, I have something lined up for y'all. If I can find my drop.
What up, Deuce? Apollo.
Drop. We got so many drops, y'all. I gotta find my drops. Where's it at? There we go.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
But my prices are reasonable. What?
Oh, there they go. There.
Whew.
Oh man.
Whoa.
The Black History Edition, huh?
Yeah, the Black History Edition. The Black History Edition of You Must Be Out Your Damn Mind.
I think that was signed by Fast Willie Jackson himself.
And his dad.
And his daddy.
Good grief.
Yeah, and that's not even number one. But I will say this: these books have a very, very low print run. I'm not saying it's $6,000 low print run.
Oh,
but these books have a very, very, especially the last issue, has a very low
last issue. I could rightly understand if it was a little bit expensive.
If this was the last issue, I think it was on what, 7. So this might be the one next to the last 7 or 8. I can't remember. But this is the last issue, then I'll be like, okay, maybe. But yeah, it's high.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite cover, though. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's crazy.
For various reasons. This is
the yams.
This is my favorite cover.
The yams. Can I get the yams? Yes.
All right.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
All right. Next up. I meant to click on it, but there you go.
Oh, they wilding. What's they wilding for that. $55.
Is that the regular color of the shirt, or has it been dinged up?
That's the dinged up, man.
Oh,
wow. Yeah,
wow.
I think that's gonna be white. Some bad lighting. No, that's probably. I guess that's yellow.
Straight banana yellow.
Crazy thing is they printed that on their on their press.
Yeah, $54.
For $54, you could at least centered it, like
right.
It's right on the side pocket.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? That's what it looked like.
They made that on a cricket.
And I know, right? Yeah, I ain't mad at the hustle.
No, I ain't mad at it either.
All right. Next up. Yeah, I'm gonna click on that. There we go.
Jace, what up, bro?
Jace.
So that's
man,
British pound. So what's that the equivalent to? Oh, if it's down there under shipping, is it? No, that's the shipping.
That the
$681.71.
No.
If it was a newsstand, autograph, maybe. And that's only if you are a person that is a fan of Don Romita Jr. I'm sorry, and you want his autograph.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
This book is in plenty. You can go find it.
Oh yeah, I got about 20. If anybody want me to press one, see if I get another.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the high grade one.
I got about 20 of those right there, man. I got more than enough.
All right. Next up.
They gotta chill out with that one right there.
Oh my God.
Now, I will say this though. That is a double XL. And the fact that it's a double XL, that means that you got to pay a premium. So
now, I was gonna say back in the day though, hey, 99, 2000.
Oh, what?
You was in the house with one of them right
what?
there.
Hey, bro, you pulled up listening to Grand Poobah with that on, boy. You was doing.
Let me tell you something.
A little this and a little of that.
That was outfit number 2 in college. So the first one, man, I'm wearing my Carl Kanai. I got my Carl Kanai on. Then I take that off. Oh, what you got? We about to go grab some meat. All right, let me take it off, man. Put on my cross color.
Cross color.
Y'all know nothing about that.
Are you taking it back?
Yeah, we about to do something tonight? Okay.
Rico has some money, boy. You buy a cross color.
Full platinum, but I'm gonna pull out the Brown Hornet edition. Yes, sir.
Now you know what though? If that right there was a brown,
if that was a Brown Hornet,
yeah, I could just yeah.
Just saying.
The Brown Hornet, boy. It's not a bird, it's not a bee, it's the Brown Hornet.
Brown Hornet.
And then we also have the tracksuit.
What? Hey man.
I got a funny story, man. So when like FUBU, cross colors, all that stuff was popping, remember, it'd be like just a white t-shirt. And you have like, and sometimes you have a cross color, but it won't even be in color. It'd be like in it's like puffed up of the actual shirt. So there is no color. So it's all white, but you can kind of see the indentation of the word cross color. So one of my homeboys, we were hanging out, and he had spilled some what we call orange drink on the shirt. The shirt at that time, and keep in mind, this is like 90s, was like $60 in the 90s.
Yeah.
He got so upset, he took the shirt off, went back to the store and bought another and bought the same one. I said, bro, you need to try to clean that, bro. you need to try something, man. I take that to my grandma. She'll get that clean right on out.
Yeah, them shirts was definitely expensive. That platinum FUBU was expensive too.
Yeah.
I remember they had the t-shirts with that same exact logo, Fat Albert silhouette.
Yep.
$85, $90 in the store.
It was expensive.
Good Lord.
And that was and I think Damon John, who was like one of the founders of FUBU, I think he still has the licensing for that, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, so if $90, $100 back then, that would be what $250?
90s. I can see easily between if it was you said 100. If it was 100, easy 250.
Yeah, 250. Yeah,
easy 250. Somewhere like 2 to 250, 200 around 250. Easy.
That's the other one that I saw.
What's that?
PGX, bro.
They still grading?
Man, I wouldn't touch nothing with that label on it. That label is nasty.
Nasty, man. That's real nasty.
Yeah. And that is it. And we'll go ahead and get ready for our main event. Let me go ahead and drop this in. Enrico, we're gonna turn it over to you, brother.
Let's do it, man.
All right.
I need to get on that. I need to get on that intro, man.
You know what? Hold on, Rico. You read my mind.
What
I
I
was
need to get
just
on that
saying.
intro, man.
We're gonna freshen it up. We're gonna
I'm gonna
freshen it up.
edit it. I'm gonna edit it to put you on there too, bro. Because I just thought about it. I said, hold
I need to
on,
get on that
man.
intro,
Rico
man.
ain't on now. So
We're gonna
we
freshen
get it.
that up. We're gonna freshen it up. We're gonna freshen it up. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be
All
freshen
right.
up.
It's gonna
I
be
think we
real.
all know was thinking about it at the same time. So you know
Yep.
what? It's time. We need to freshen up anyway because some of that stuff been running for 3-4 years. Yeah.
This
So
is
yeah,
true.
it's about time for a fresh up. So
Yes, sir.
It's all good, man. I just want to feel part of.
hey, bro,
part
we're
of the
gonna
crew.
get you in there.
I want to feel part of the crew, man. That's all. I just want to feel.
We're
You know what I'm saying? I want to be ingratiated. I want to be ingratiated. You did?
Yeah, we're gonna get you in there.
Yeah.
You know what? Hold on, just for you, man. Just for you. There we go. I had to hit the drop for you one time.
Yeah,
just
dude.
for
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. I
Wait,
appreciate it.
that's coming too. That's coming back too, by the way. So,
You want me to pull it up, man?
yep, you go ahead and go ahead and pull it up, and then
All
I'll.
right, you have the slides in there.
I got the slide. Hold on. I got the slide over here on my end. I just had it.
And while y'all doing that, just want to thank everybody in the chat for joining us. I may have some coworkers in the chat. I don't know. They ain't said nothing yet. But if you're there,
I'm gonna drop the
Yeah, me too. Salute everybody. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Oh, get y'all notebooks ready because class about to be in session. Rico about to do his thing. This is my favorite. I can't wait.
and let me
There you
just say this too. If you
we
have
got some gems. We got some gems today.
There you go, Rico.
We got a real big gem tonight.
It's
if
in
you
the
haven't
private
watched
chat.
these,
You said it's in the private chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
go back in our channel and just pull them up. These are some very informative. If you want to learn about Black history, comic books, and stuff, the man in the upper right hand corner is that dude.
So do I drop it into the
You can do present. Just do present. You can just
I got you.
open up a tab. Yeah, open up a tab. Hit present. Then you can share.
I got it. Just show my screen.
Yep.
Oh, we winning. We winning. All right. So go.
What's up, Mr. Collector 123?
And then if you got the PDF for the show, remember you can just go into the present slide and then.
Salute, Mr. Collector. Salute. Good brother in the collecting community.
Do I hit share my screen?
Word
Yeah.
life.
Hit share your screen. Yeah. And I'll see it.
All right. Can y'all see it?
Not yet.
Hit present. Hit present.
Let's see what we got. Okay, I got you now. I got you. Hold on real quick. All right, let me know if y'all see it. Y'all see it?
Yep.
Yeah, it just popped up for me.
All right. Oh, cool. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, man. First of all, man, I always appreciate you guys, man. Like just reaching out to me, man. I love this stuff. So it's always fun. At least I can scale it down so make sure y'all can see it.
Hey, Rico, tell them how we doing it this year, so that way they have an idea.
Yeah. So we're doing. How many are we gonna do this? How many are we gonna do this?
We got this week, next week, and the week after.
All right. So since I knew we were doing more than one, I figured, and the day was Sunday. This is kind of like just a preview of some of the books and important artists and creators that we're going to be showcasing out for the rest of the month. But these two are very, very, very important to me because the first one is a guy by the name of George Harriman. So I just call this Trailblazers in the recognizing the impact of George Harriman and Vernon Grant. These are two Black creators who I believe had an amazing impact on society and culture through comics, through their talents. So let's get it. All right. Can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, we see.
Okay. It's not showing. So I guess I'm looking at the wrong one. All right. So the guy you see on the left-hand side is a guy by the name of George Harriman. Many of us, we know about Matt Baker, and we know the impact that Matt Baker had on comics in regards to being one of the early pioneers in terms of Black artists in comic books. But when you think about comic strips, what I always told people is that it was comic strips that got me into comic books. Matter of fact, I'm still a larger fan of comic strips. I grew up reading comic strips, which was like a segue to comic books for me. And one of my favorite comic strips reading that I used to read as a kid was Crazy Cat. And Crazy Cat, and the crazy thing was, no pun intended, the crazy thing about Crazy Cat was that when I was reading it, I had no idea who this guy, George Harriman, was. I just loved comic strip. So it wasn't until years later until I understood that not only he was an African American, but he also later on became a huge trailblazer in not only comic strips but comic books. And we're going to talk about some of those things today. So I put pioneering cartoonist and racial barrier breaker. He was born in 1880 and he passed away in 1944. He's identified as a trailblazing Black cartoonist. George Harriman of Creole descent was one of the first syndicated cartoonists of African heritage, breaking racial barriers in the early 20th century. But what he's best known for is Crazy Cat. Now, Crazy Cat was not his first comic strip. He had a comic strip called The Dingbats, like a Dingbat family. Wasn't too successful, but it had Crazy Cat. It introduced Crazy Cat, and Crazy Cat became so successful. What ended up happening was it ended up just pretty much sparking this crazy movement in terms of just how it hit critical mass and how it was accepted throughout a lot of readers, but not just readers. You had a lot of people that looked at it more from an intellectual standpoint. It wasn't just about a comic strip that made you laugh or made you, it was a comic book that had you thinking. It was very thought-provoking comic strip. And so his comic strip, Crazy Cat from 1930 to 1944, is celebrated for its surreal humor, poetic dialogue, and innovative storytelling, influencing modern comics and art. We're going to talk about that later. Artistic innovator, Harriman's experimental layouts, multicultural themes, and unique visual style set a new standard for creativity in comic art. Racial complexity. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because a lot of times, like we look back at history and realize that we didn't know a certain person was Black. Well, we know back then, certain times there might have been an African American artist, but he might have passed as white. You know what I mean? E.C. Stoner, who is an amazing that we're now starting to talk more and more about. He passed as white, and there were some other comic book illustrators and comic strip illustrators and creators that passed as white. So there was a racial complexity there. Though of mixed race heritage, Harriman passes as white due to societal pressures, a fact revealed only after his death, adding depth to his legacy. So he went pretty much majority of his life people thinking he was white. So that's what they mean by the depth of complexity. And it is complex because knowing that he's Black actually went majority of his career passing as a white person, particularly in professional circles. His enduring legacy, Harriman's sketchy style. We're going to see a lot of his style and surreal humor shaped generations of comic artists, including Walt Disney, Dr. Seuss, Bill Watterson, who actually created Calvin and Hobbes, Art Spiegelman, and Charles Schwartz. George Harriman's Crazy Cat is one of the few comic strips that can be considered true art.
Hey, hold on, just a second, Rico, not to cut y'all. Hey, y'all can't see Trailblazers and Ink right there.
I see the main page. Are we supposed to be seeing pictures too, Rico?
Yeah, y'all didn't see the picture?
No.
Wow.
I ain't want to interrupt you because you.
No, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. I'm moving my screen.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm moving my screen. I don't see anything. I'm glad y'all said something because it was so funny when I'm looking at it on the.
I tell you what, Rico. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Hold on. So y'all, yeah, I still see the same page too.
Yeah. Let's do a present again. Hold on. I'm
maybe we should just upload the PDF. What do you think?
Yeah, upload the PDF.
Yeah, let me just upload. I'm glad y'all said something, man. Let me just upload the PDF.
I'm about to put them out the studio. Let me.
I'm glad y'all said something, man. I'm about to upload it now.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, man, I'm glad y'all did because I'm sitting there reading them like, and it was so crazy. I'm still seeing the same thing y'all was seeing.
if I kick you out, come back in, Rico. I'm just gonna hit this right here.
You good.
Okay, no. All right. So what you gotta do on that end, that close your window on that end.
All right.
Yeah, see, stop sharing. Hit stop share on StreamYard. Yep, there you go.
Right.
Now what you do is go present slides, PDFs, then upload. And you should.
Let me do this. Let me log out for a minute and come back in because I don't see the start sharing button showing up.
Thank y'all for y'all's patience. We do appreciate it. We are sorry for the technical difficulties. We have a full house tonight, but I just want to say it is great to see all y'all in the building. Thank you so much.
Much appreciation.
Much appreciation.
Man, Rico was about to get cooking. I was like, oh, we can't.
Some told me to say, let me go look see if anybody chat now because I have y'all up where I can't see anything. And so I said, let me just back out right quick to see anything. See. All right,
I'm back in. Sorry.
All right. Can you see it now, Rico?
Say it again, man.
Can you see it now? Can you see the present?
Yeah, I see the present now. Yep.
Okay. Slide PDFs, then you should be able to.
And then so I just upload the PDF, right?
Uh-huh.
All right.
It's StreamYard, y'all. StreamYard.
As a guest, you can upload 2 slide decks. Please log in. Sign up for free. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, they made some changes here on what you call it. Used to be a whole lot easier.
Yep. Because remember when I did my slideshows and stuff.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta take this call. This work call in here. Hold on.
Well, now it's just us two, Brad.
Oh, what's up?
Nothing, man. Just trying to keep the momentum going until the presentation is back.
Yes,
Maurice,
indeed.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Maurice.
What's up, Jay? What's up, Mayo? This Mayo. Okay, what's up, John Mayo?
I got butt dialed. I thought it was somebody else.
Oh God,
yes,
that's the wrong kind of dialing. Butt dialing.
Yeah, so we just waiting on Rico to get back in. We're gonna be back in just a second. There you go.
All right. Yeah, I wasn't logged in, so I think I should be able to do it. It wouldn't let me upload it because it said I wasn't logged.
We back.
We back. Appreciate y'all patience. Let's see
Mayo in the house. In the building.
Right. Now let's try it. All right, it's loading now. I see it loading now.
All right, now hit your present.
New Village. What's up? Yeah. I got something. New Village.
We in business now.
There we go.
All right.
Word life.
Does everybody see it? Everybody see it now?
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all, man. My bad, man. So we good now. We rolling now.
Yeah, Rico, can you slide over? Can you move the slide?
I hope.
Apollo crazy.
Probably play. What'd you say, man?
Can you move to the next slide? Will it let you? Are you able to do it?
Let me try to move to the next slide.
All right,
see the next slide?
There we go.
There
we go.
This is where
now
I was.
we see why he passed for white. We see now.
This is where I was. So we good. We cooking with grease, y'all. We straight.
Brother Mayo, good to see you, brother. Good to see everybody in the chat, man. Make sure as y'all come in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like and share.
Hold on 1 sec.
Make sure you go give Heroes After Dark some love too.
Oh man, listen, everybody follow everybody because it's gonna be a big year for everyone.
That's right.
Slouching and couching. Thank you for joining us.
Hold on 1 sec, y'all.
Yeah, Rico, you trying to get that background off?
No. Background good. Hold on 1 sec.
Tell you what we're gonna do here while Rico gets sorted out. We're gonna
play some music. I hope everybody had a good dinner tonight too.
Nah, there we go. He back. But not, hey, you on mute.
You're muted, sir.
I got it.
No. I just realized there's a background. So that's when my grandson comes and play with me.
Okay.
That's what the background is for y'all. So
Okay.
y'all forgive me for that. I didn't even realize the background.
Man, I ain't judging you for no background,
I
bro.
thought it had to do with some black artists we know about. So.
No.
Me too.
All right, y'all. Let's get this thing powered. I appreciate
All
y'all patience, man. So we're gonna start with George Harriman. The focus of this presentation is I chose two artists, George Harriman and Vernon Grant. And the reason why I chose these two artists is because not only were these are two artists that we don't talk about. Sometimes every once in a while what ends up happening is we learn about it, we learn about someone, and then we talk about that person and we just wear it in the ground, which is good. We'll talk about Matt Baker, we'll talk about AC Hollinger, we'll talk about AC Stone, we'll talk about all the, Jackie Arms. But what ends up happening is, we kind of stick with those and we fail to realize that there's so much more. And there's and the two people I'm going to be talking about today played a serious role in how a lot of us collect. And so the first person is George Harriman. And so what I place as his title is a pioneering cartoonist and racial barrier breaker. So I'll read through the bullet points again real quick. So these are the things he's identified for. He's trailblazing black cartoonist. George Harriman of Creole descent was one of the first syndicated cartoonists of African heritage, breaking racial barriers in the early 20th century. His creation that he's known for is Crazy Cat. His comic strip Crazy Cat is celebrated for surreal humor and dialogue, surreal humor, poetic dialogue, and innovative storytelling, influencing modern comics and art. And we're going to talk about that as well. Artistic innovator, Harriman's experimental layouts, multicultural themes, and unique visual style set a new standard for creativity in comic art. One of these we're going to find out too is that this guy is probably one of the most written. He has so many books written about him from modern day historians and writers. So he's probably the most reviewed and studied black artist during that era of anyone. You can look up now, just if anyone right now, go on Amazon, go and just there's a number of books that have been written about him and Crazy Cat. Racial complexity. We talked about the racial complexity. Now that y'all can see the photo, though of mixed race heritage, Harriman passes white due to societal pressures. A fact revealed only after his death, adding depth to his legacy. And we talked about all the influences from people like Dr. Seuss, Bill Watterson, who created Calvin and Hobbes, Art Spiegelman, Charles M. Schwartz. This is a quote from Bill Watterson. He wrote, and this quote is at the bottom of the page. He said, George Harrison's Crazy Cat is one of the few comic strips that can be considered true art. Harriman was a man ahead of his time, working in a medium that didn't understand what he was doing. And yet he managed to create a timeless masterpiece. So we're going to go to the next slide. So now you're going to, these are different panels from Crazy Cat. And we're going to talk about Crazy Cat because we got to understand why this comic strip was so important and why so many people, even to this day, it's written by so many different authors. Crazy Cat debuted on October 28, 1913 and ran until 1944, becoming one of the most critically acclaimed comic strips for its originality and its artistry. Although it had a limited mainstream success, Crazy Cat was highly praised by intellectuals and artists. This was a comic strip that many people will look at now, that people study now through sociology, psychology. Now, we're going to also talk about how sometimes people are infusing things that are unnecessary, that they shouldn't be, but that deals with the complexity and the depth and the layers that he provided in a lot of his work. So let me tell you about Crazy Cat. Crazy Cat was a character that had this love-hate relationship with this mouse called Ignat. Now, it dealt with a lot of different things we deal with today. It was a cat, but it really dealt with the human condition, and he spoke to the human condition. This is why so many people are so connected to this particular comic strip. It was about love. It was about rejection. It was about chasing someone that doesn't chase you back. It was about identity. It was about trying to figure out where your place is. It was dealing with acceptance. It was dealing with so many different things. One of the nuances that Harriman created was with Crazy Cat is Crazy Cat would change out of nowhere. Sometimes he'd be identified as a he. Sometimes he'd be identified as a she. And sometimes he would be identified as an it. And then sometimes he would change his name from Cat to Ket. So he would change so many different things. Now, the problem that when you research about this particular character is that he's so complex that it's easy for everyone from all different walks of life to connect to him, regardless of your race, your nationality, your sexuality, however you identify. This is a character that sometimes always finds a home in different places. And because the way he was written, people are really looking at him through a modern lens. And that's a problem sometimes. Let me give you an example. If anybody in here, this is not a religious thing, but everybody just study theology. But one of the things in theology that you learn is that you have to apply what we call hermeneutics. And hermeneutics gives you the ability to be able to contextualize the text. Because a lot of times you might read something that was written during ancient times, but you're trying to apply modern day linguistics and understandings and vernacular and constructs and say, oh, well, this is what it means. But no, what hermeneutics does is says, okay, we have to understand the day, what was going on during that era. Why was he writing like this? Why was he creating these type of things? What was the temperature, the racial temperature? What was the societal temperature? You know, what was all these different things that he had to deal with? So what ended up happening is a lot of times now when people read these characters, they'll say things like, oh, okay, well, Crazy Cat was gender fluid. Crazy Cat was not gender fluid. And it's not a slight on anything, but we have to be intellectually honest when to understand the character and to make sure that we don't do damage or create violence to the artistry that George Harriman intended. What he was basically doing was he wanted to create ambiguity. And the goal of ambiguity is to say, I want to make sure at any point in time, however I'm feeling, whatever I'm dealing with or going through, I want Crazy Cat to be able to take on whatever I believe he needs to take on. If he needs to be a her today, then I want him to be a her. If Crazy Cat needs to be a he, be an it. There's no gender fluidity. Why? Because that wasn't even a conversation. Again, let's look at the connection like hermeneutics. That wasn't even a conversation then. That wasn't even a term then. So what he was doing would be similar to, let's say you're watching an episode of Martin, and one day you out the blue, you turn on Martin, and it's a girl instead of a boy, and her name is Martina. And instead of him changing it to Shanae, she's changing to a dude named Sheldon. But watch this, but we don't pay it any attention. We take it for what it is, and we don't feel as though it's anything completely disruptive. We just follow the story. Because whatever the reason why Martin is no longer Martin for that particular episode deals with the story and the context. And so that's what he was doing. He was like, whatever the story and the context is, if Crazy Cat needs to be a he or her or it, that's what I want to make sure I create for this character because it makes sense contextually. So this is one of the things, and so what ended up happening was, and I'm going to show you an amazing quote that I had to do some research on. People accredit him to pioneering the term jazz. Now we're going to talk about this, so people don't ruffle your feathers, y'all. I'm going to explain it. I didn't say he invented the term. We're not saying that, but they attribute the artistry that he created as one of the pioneers of jazz, and we're gonna talk about that. So these are some of his artwork, and what I want to do now. Do you want to pull that the heritage thing up,
You on mute, Matt.
There we go. So
That
I
was
want
about
you
to be
all,
my question. How much them strips
yeah,
going
I
for?
want you all to see something very important. The prices, yeah. So look at that price. George Harriman's artwork is one of the most sought after original artworks that you can go after. It's not even close. When people run to his artwork, people when they find out it's being listed anywhere, Sotheby's, Christie's, Heritage, people run and they pay top dollar, as you can see. Artwork in the 70s, 70 something thousand, 30 something thousand, 20. It's very and sometimes a small panel can go for $20,000-$30,000. Now, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because one of the things that I want to challenge us to start doing more is remove this idea and this false notion that, oh, the other people don't really pay out what we do any attention. They don't really care about the stuff we're creating. They don't talk about our stuff. They don't showcase our stuff. They don't buy our stuff. Actually, they do. We don't because we're not privy to it and we're not aware of it. They've been exposed to something that we should have been exposed to years prior. And they've been taking advantage of it and reaping the rewards. And so what I want us to start doing is stop saying that, oh, they're not buying our stuff. They're not talking about our stuff. They don't care. Yes, they do. All of the above. Check, 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 check. We have to start learning about it. There's more to. So comics to me is that is the word. Then under comics, we have different verticals. This is when I research, this is how I look at it. So you have comics, then you have comics. Under comics, you have comic strips, you have comic books, you might have fanzines, you might have graphic novel, whatever it is, you have all these different verticals, but it all starts with comics because that's how comic books originally started. Early comic books were actually comic strips, many of them comic strips packed into what we now look at as a comic book. So for example, the first time Lothar that we know originated in comic strips. The first time he appeared in a comic book was in actually a reprint of a former comic strip that they put into the comic books. So that's how a lot of these comic books actually started. Especially when you start looking at the golden era, some of those early books, you might go through, it might be 5 or 6 stories in the book. And then some of those stories might be one panel comic strips. So comic strips play a huge role in the inception of comic books. So I want you all to really see these prices and understand that this is a person who not only is well written about, people are writing about him, people are talking about him, people are writing books about him, but they're looking for his artwork and they're selling for crazy, crazy money. So we're going to start right now and see if anybody have any questions before we move on.
I just wanted to say that my first foray into Crazy Cat, and it's crazy, no pun intended, that you're discussing him because I remember his cartoon. And I think King Syndicate, the same people that actually published or did the Popeye cartoon, did a Crazy Cat cartoon. Because I remember watching it when I was younger, back in the days. I had no idea a black guy was behind it. That's what's up.
Yeah, I didn't find out till much later, to be completely honest with you. I loved it. It was almost like, to be honest with you, I really didn't get into Crazy Cat until probably the 80s when I was reading. And what was funny, Calvin and Hobbes. So it's amazing that the artist that created Calvin and Hobbes gave us this amazing quote about how George Harriman inspired him, and it was Calvin and Hobbes that got me interested in Crazy Cat. And it was absolutely amazing. So
Rico, I got a quick question before we go on.
Yeah.
So where do people start ground level? What's a good book to kind of read more on George, see maybe some of his artwork and different things of that nature, and just more information on him? What would you suggest?
So what I would do is,
look at?
I would say, I don't have a book off the top of my head, to be honest, but what I will say is this: if you Google George, if you search for George Harriman on YouTube, you will find some amazing content. As a matter of fact, you will even find symposiums and discussions with people and artists and authors breaking down the nuances of this character. So I would say that would be the best place to start because it's going to be more interactive, you know. And they're going, and a lot of these guys are authors that wrote their books. As a matter of fact, when I find one, I'll send you one in the chat. There's one when I was doing research years ago. I just got immersed into a video where there were, I think maybe 3 or 4 gentlemen that were actually discussing the actual this, you know, all things George Harriman, all things Crazy Cat.
Okay.
And again, the psychological depth to this particular character is so unique that you can probably go into so many different circles. This is why Crazy Cat is so amazing, and everyone finds a way to connect to him. Now, I think a lot of times they're doing it this justice because they're trying to infuse modern day constructs within a character that was really just trying to exist and exist through a format that was not tied to anything except for the idea that George Harriman had at that moment. Does that make any sense? Like there was no necessarily theme that he had. There was no guideline. Like, you know, for example, nowadays when you create a character, and Matt would tell you I'm working on a comic book now, and Matt's seen some of the work I'm working on. Oh yeah, we're gonna keep it on low end. And one of the things that the earliest part is just developing the character, creating the brand, setting the brand guidelines, understanding how the character exists, and not trying to overthink it, but make sure you have something foundational so that as you scale, as the character scales, it always stays true to its essence, right? Well, what ends up happening is people end up removing the essence of Crazy Cat when they do that. They take away the very thing that makes Crazy Cat special and unique. So that's why I would just say, you know, I think it's good. You're gonna fall in love with the stories, amazing stories. But we're gonna go to the next slide. This is gonna be very
okay, for sure.
Now we're gonna bring it to comics because we know we like to talk comic books here. Comic books because we know we like to talk comic books. So this book, once I realized, it took me some time because for years I was trying to figure out, okay, did he ever appear in comics? And at the time, I think what's the app? The Key Collector comic app?
Yeah, Key Collector.
Yeah, so they didn't have them at the time. I type in like Crazy Cat, I didn't see anything. So now I think it's in there now, but this was like a while ago when I was trying to find the comic book. So I was like, I know he exists in the comic book. You're not gonna tell me he didn't exist in the comic book. I was like, where's the first appearance of Crazy Cat in the comic book? Well, the first time Crazy Cat appears in a comic book is in 1937.
Woo.
Yeah, 1937, Ace Comics #1. That's the comic book. I'm gonna read something. Ace Comics #1, published in 1937, was a pivotal moment in comic book history, featuring the work of George Harriman, a trailblazing Black creator. By including Harriman's Crazy Cat strip, the comic introduced the first Black created intellectual property in mainstream comic books. Now, this should give you goosebumps because we talk about, the first appearance of T'Challa in the book, the first appearance of Friday Foster, the first appearance of Lobo, the first. Okay, that's great. That's fine. That's cool. This book right here is the first time that a Black intellectual property, a Black created concept idea that went from character to story form was featured in a comic book. That alone, for me, checks every single box.
Yeah, no, that's heavy. That's heavy for sure.
Every single box, because it's before we got the For Us By Us All Negro comics. Way before.
Say it one more time, Rico. So
it was before we got the For Us By Us.
Before that, about the comic book, it was the first what now?
Yeah. This is the first time that a Black created intellectual property appeared in mainstream comic book.
Now watch
What
this.
does that mean? It means that a Black person that not only created the character but wrote the story is now featured in a comic book.
Also, to add to that, in the Gerber, because we didn't even talk about this, Rico. In
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Gerber,
bring the Gerber. Yeah, I didn't talk about that either.
the Gerber has it listed as a number 7.
Ooh.
So that means that this book, you got is about much chance of me probably winning the lottery before you find this book.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I think there's one on eBay, if I'm not mistaken. There's one on eBay. They want a nice little ticket for it. But it's one on eBay. But let me finish though. This book gets me excited because when I found this book, it literally completed my comic book. It completed my desire to continue to search for comics. You said, well, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Al wants to ask a question.
Go ahead, man.
You had to hit me to Gerber because the only Gerber I know of is baby food. So what is Gerber?
This is the hold on.
Yeah, so Gerber is what they call the Gerber Scarcity Index.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
photo journal.
Mhm.
This is the hard. This hell. These even hard to find.
Yeah.
I was about to say that looks pretty rare.
So just to clarify, that book actually shows like books that are like super duper uber rare and stuff.
Yeah. So
Yep.
some of these books you can only actually see the cover in this book.
That's it. Yeah. Some they'll tell you that some books
Really?
only the cover.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's across the board, like any
board.
comic book for the most part.
This is golden age. This is golden age.
Golden age. Golden
Yeah,
age.
this is all golden age stuff.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, golden age.
That's cool.
Yeah. So sometimes me and Rico will reference this. If we can't find if we go look for a book and let's say it's not on the census or it's not on listed on CB what is it, Rico? CGC.
CGC, yeah.
Then we have to go all the way down to the to the Gerber.
So do they update that book like Overstreet?
No, this man did all this by hand.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think there's different volumes. I don't know how many volumes there are, but I think there's a couple of volumes. Yeah, so that's the Gerber Scarcity Index. It really talks, and they graded on. I don't know the exact grade, but something like almost impossible or likely possible. Yeah. I don't know the exact term. Somebody in the chat might know. But it breaks down how difficult it is to actually find this particular book.
Trying to see if I can find a number. I know it's rare. Anything over 5 is normally rare.
I wonder what the CGC. Let me pull up the. I wonder what the CGC. How much on CGC census?
Yeah, Rico, while you was talking, I just took a look at eBay and they do got one up there and they want a nice little bag for it.
How much they want for it?
Look like he want 32 for it.
Okay, what's the grade? Is it graded?
Yeah, 5.0.
Okay.
Off-white pages.
So there are as of now 21 graded on the CGC census.
Ooh.
That's pretty low.
Super low numbers. Super low numbers.
The highest grade is an 8.5. The lowest grade, there's 2.5s. So 21, man. So that's, and watch this, and six of them are restored.
Hey Bradley, go ahead and hit the ban button over. You got somebody you need to ban on your channel.
What is
go to the comment section. I ain't even got to say nothing. Just go to the comment section. Look down there. I just saw it.
That is a very uncouth question to ask in regards to Black History.
Yeah.
I hope you are a bot. I really do, because if you're not, shame on you.
I don't think that's my channel, man.
That might be Sean. Sean, you got to start putting the mod, man. You got to start modding.
No, that ain't.
Oh, I know.
We talking about golden comment, and they did.
You're talking about golden, but it ain't.
It's not allowed here.
We're going into the chat. I got it. They out of here.
I didn't even see it.
It's still
we still on our end, but yeah, somebody got it.
Yeah, you can't stop the crazies, man.
All right, let me pull it back up. I'm sorry.
You good. You good. You good. You good. You good.
Did I take it down? You took it down.
Yeah, hold on one sec. Hold on one
Okay.
sec.
Okay, you still doing your thing. Okay, I was trying to make sure I got that out of here.
Get boycott Activision because I don't understand how you don't understand what kind of show this is, but it is what it is, man. What's the context? The Black History Show.
Yeah, up until this point, I feel like Rico's did a wonderful job of explaining, providing context, and not only that, photos as well. So, anything else, man, we're gonna nip that in the bud and keep the Black history going.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite obvious what this show is. It's quite obvious what this month is. We're going to be talking about this, and I'll tell you what, make it even easier for you. It's going to be next week, the week after, and the week after.
They're not gonna stop it. They're not gonna stop it.
Well, don't worry. And then it's probably going to be might be some in March too when we start doing music. So then after that, then we ain't did that Black Antique show yet. So wait till we get ready for that. So
They can't.
Hey, I ain't even gonna tell y'all what y'all had me looking for. I was looking for something to surprise y'all with, but the bidding got too out of hand, so I had to fall back. I had to fall back.
Yeah, they can't stop it.
What, Christ sandals?
Nah. I was looking for a Michael Jackson glove.
Oh, dude, I used to have. I had the Michael Jackson glove, the Michael Jackson socks. I had the beaded jacket that had where the sleeves came off and the zippers in the back, so it was legit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go. 1866. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, man. But whenever y'all ready, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
Go ahead. We go ahead. We'll go ahead and bring it back, Rico. You guys, it's on your end.
Can y'all see it?
Not yet.
Hold me up.
I'm gonna click on.
I'll tell you what, it's on slide 4. I'm a re-add it, Rico. Let me do it. I got it right here. I got it.
Okay, good. Appreciate it. So we'll just finish this slide here. But that is so important to understand. Like because if you're about Black creative control, Black ownership, if you're about IP ownership, especially in the era now where we're learning that some of our favorite characters that we grew up that were independent characters, they don't really own what we think they own. They can't make the decisions that they really want to make, even right now in 2025. And I'm not going to say any names, but it's amazing. And so the fact that we saw something like this, and what we can witness and understand that this happened in the 30s, in my opinion, is so important. So I'm going to finish this slide. At a time when the industry was overwhelmingly dominated by white creators, this was a groundbreaking move toward greater representation, visibility, and importantly, the establishment of creative control for Black creators. Harriman's work in Ace Comics #1 not only showcases innovative storytelling and unique artistic style, but also demonstrated his lasting influence on the medium. This milestone stands as a testament to his talent, resilience, and vision, helping to lay the foundation for future Black creative intellectual properties and the broader recognition of Black artists and storytellers in the comics industry. Michael Tesseron did an amazing quote. He said, "Harriman is truly the godfather of the modern graphic novel." So that's the quote that's at the bottom.
And that's a heavy quote right there.
That's a heavy quote. I mean, that's a term that's used with him a lot. Sometimes people say Black Godfather, or sometimes you say Godfather, but this is a guy that's calling him the godfather of modern graphic novel. And that's why I was saying, when you're studying, comics in general, and you're looking at all the different extensions and verticals up on graphic novels, the comic books, the comic strips, graphic novel is in that vertical. It's part of that. But when you talk about graphic novel, now you're getting into the narrative, right? You're getting into more than just the artistry of it in terms of just what we see visually, but you're getting into the actual, the words and the impact the words have and the storytelling and all those different things. So that's pretty dope. So let's get to the next slide. So now we're gonna get to the jazz quote. So this is a quote that I found when I was doing some research on George Harriman. This is a powerful quote, and I put where it came from. The quote says George Harriman's cartoon revolutionized the genre and influenced Walt Disney, Jack Kerouac, Art Spiegelman, and even pioneered the word jazz. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, I knew if I shared this quote, there was going to be some people say, oh, because a lot of times people don't understand that words can be used not to be taken literally, but to be taken in the spirit of the word, right? And I think, and this is what the artist was saying. So I started doing some research, and then I'm fortunate to be in a small group of. I'm not a historian. I just love researching, but there are some guys I know that really I would call historians, and they've taken me on, and they've taught me how to really do fact check things, research things, look at things contextually. And so I started talking to some of these gentlemen, and we started just really looking at it and deep diving. Like, what did when the person wrote this quote, what did he mean by pioneering the word jazz? And we started looking at it, and this is what we found. I'm going to read something. The connection between Harriman and jazz, and this really breaks down how magnificent Crazy Cat is, and why Crazy Cat is considered something even bigger than just a comic strip. It says Harriman's work didn't just push visual boundaries. His use of dialogue also defied expectations. He was known for creating playful, whimsical words and phrases, which added to the surreal, dreamlike quality of his comic strips. In a way, Harriman was part of the cultural movement that embraced the evolving, energetic spirit of the jazz age. He may have pioneered the creative use of the language that mirrored the spontaneous and innovative nature of jazz music. In short, the phrase pioneered the word jazz does not mean Harriman literally invented the word jazz. Rather, it points to his role in shaping the creative and cultural environment in which words and concepts like the improvisational, playful, and experimental nature of jazz could emerge and flourish in both music and language. Harriman's innovation to the realm of comics helped open the door for a similar level of creativity in other cultural spheres, including music, literature, and art. The reason why I think his artwork is so sought after is because, like I was saying earlier, whether people are injecting modern constructs into his creations or they're actually understanding the nuances and taking it the way he intended, there are so many groups of different types of wherever that gravitate and have ingratiated themselves within in his world, and they connect to him in some way. Crazy Cat connects him. So it may be the her, the he, the it doesn't matter. They find ways to realize, because when you really read, I would encourage you to really read the book. I'm only giving you like surface level stuff. The nuances are so, like, the storytelling is so amazing. And don't get caught up. He's using, he is Creole Haitian, and so there's going to be you're going to see a lot of that dialect in there. You're going to see a lot of the Southern dialect in there, but there is no racial type of issues going on with the words. This is a black man that is writing how he talks, how he sees things. He's writing improvisationally based on each particular circumstance, which is what allows Crazy Cat to take on different shapes and forms and names and different things. So we're gonna close here with Crazy Cat and George Harriman, and see if y'all got any questions, and then we'll go to the next artist.
No, I'm glad you kind of added context to saying he pioneered the word of jazz, how they did the correlation, because now I get it based off of the previous, work you showed about how Crazy Cat took different forms to bring points across. And when you're thinking about jazz and its inception, how many different sounds and barriers and different artists and things that they use to bring points across. So that was good. up until today, I've never heard of George Harriman. So again, I love these. So that was a good one. And yeah, I love that. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, you know what I would say? I would say, I love the way you broke that down. I would say, think about Love Supreme. Any Coltrane.
Yes. Amazing album.
If you think about Love Supreme, there's only 4 tracks. But every track gives an emotion and a different type of worship, because John Coltrane, remember, he said, this is my gospel album. And a lot of people don't know that. Now, not gospel from the traditional standpoint, but he was going through this spiritual passage or rite of passage. He was kind of going through the spiritual journey. And that's why the first one, I believe, is called Acknowledgement. And when you listen to the tonality of acknowledgement and the rhythm and everything, but then when it goes to resolution, right? Then when it goes to pursuance,
yeah,
and everything, and then it goes to the last one, Psalm, and it takes you from all this turbulence, up and down volatility, to now the Psalms, where now it's like this type of praise and worship. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I think that's what the author was saying with that. He was saying that that's what jazz is. It's this spontaneous, improvisational style with drums and techniques and horns and all these different things. And I think, and that was the style that George Harriman took.
Right. No, most definitely. And then now that I think about it, when you speaking, it kind of, and then you kind of think about like Marvin Gaye, what's going on, or Stevie Wonder's songs in the Key of Life.
The Key of Life, yeah.
These different complexities in the records that was on there. So yeah, no, that's a great correlation to how they compared his artwork and his writings and things of that nature. That was a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's George Harriman, ladies and gentlemen. This is my goat. So just so you know, this is the guy who, for years has played a pivotal role, and not just as a comic collector, but just his narrative, his writings, his artistry, his storytelling, his worldview, how he saw the world, things like that. Just like sometimes people kind of find ways to connect with characters, and they fall in love with certain characters, and how some people look at X-Men and how Claremont did certain things, and how now they say how they can connect to those characters in that way. That's what Crazy Cat and George Harriman did for me, and that's why when I was finally able to get my hands on that book, man, it was the moment I was really excited about. So we'll go to the next. Unless you got something to say, Al.
Nah, you would just talk about me with all that X-Men stuff. So
and really, one last thing, that's just what makes stuff timeless, right? When you can capture the complexities of life, the dialogue, the time, the socialism, all that stuff. And then we can go back and look and like, this was forward thinking, and this is what's going on now. How do we combat this now? So
right. Absolutely, man. So the next the next artist you guys are gonna love. This is for the blurs in here. So any blurs in here, I think you're gonna appreciate this one a lot. This is a guy by the name of Vernon Grant. Now, not to be mistaken by another Vernon Grant. The difficult thing about researching Vernon Grant is that there's another artist named Vernon Simeon Grant, that he was a great illustrator, but he's also created Snap, Crackle, and Pop. He did a lot of illustrations for Kellogg's and different things, and posters and all these different illustrations for marketing materials back in the day. So when you search Vernon Grant, typically, sometimes you'll end up finding that person. But this Vernon Grant is absolutely phenomenal. And the fact we don't talk about this guy, and this is what Black History, it's not just about repetition. There's nothing wrong with repetition. It's also should be about exposure. Should be about bringing light to people that we just don't have conversations about, and people we should be having conversations about. So Vernon Grant, I title this, visionary comic creator and advocate for peace through art. And you're going to see where we're going to go with that. So these are some of the things that he's known for. Manga pioneer. I'm going to hit y'all with it right now.
Wow.
Vernon Grant is the first artist to introduce authentic Japanese manga visual styles and storytelling techniques to English language comics. Let me repeat this, ladies and gentlemen. Vernon Grant is the first artist. Look it up. Look on Wikipedia. Look on Library of Congress. It's the same. You're gonna find it. This guy right here that you're looking at, this gentleman that you can hardly find a decent photo for, is the first artist to introduce authentic Japanese manga visual styles and storytelling techniques to English language comics. He is basically accredited. Grant is widely accredited for the first artist to introduce visual style and storytelling concepts of Japanese manga. He also served 3 army tours in Japan in the 1960s and stayed to write about manga as well as creating his own work. So he is now responsible. Now, someone probably else would have done it sooner or later, but this guy you're looking at is responsible for bringing manga to English language form to us the way we know it now, which is amazing. He was the first to do it. Look him up. He's the first to do it. So now his most famous work is a series called The Love Rangers. And we're going to really take a deep dive on that book. Grant's 1977 comic book, The Love Rangers, was a digest size, very small book, inspired series that blended mature storytelling with themes of love and peace. Now, you're going to find out that was his angle. Now, he wrote some mature content. Let me tell you on that. He wrote some mature content, but fundamentally, Vernon Grant was all about really, he had a very optimistic worldview. And being a person that served overseas in the military, he really, really wanted to, he translated English too, but yeah. So watch this. He said it follows an international team. Oh, back to Love Rangers. The story of Love Rangers follows an international team of space soldiers dedicated to nonviolent conflict resolution, reflecting Grant's optimism. He's also known as an academic innovator. He authored early scholarly analysis of manga in English, helped Western audience understand Japanese comic art. He's credited for bringing it to the West. Like, that's what he's credited for, which is absolutely insane when you think about that. A black man, a black person, that's crazy.
And so many black people are into manga and don't even
have
know
no
that
idea who this guy is. So all you manga cosplayers, I want to see some Vernon Grant IPs. I want to see some Love Rangers being cosplayed. We're gonna see some of these characters. We need to see some of these characters in some of these cosplays. He had a military influence. He was a Vietnam veteran whose military background deeply informed his storytelling. This is why he was really up. He really wanted to create storytelling that dealt with understanding war, but looking at it from trying to resolve with peaceful resolution. That was his angle. His legacy of cross-cultural storytelling. Grant's work bridged American comics and Japanese manga, inspiring future generations of artists. His ability to merge cultural influences and deliver meaningful stories made him a trailblazer in the evolution of modern comics. All right, so now this is the comic book that he's known for. The Love Rangers series ran from 1977 to 1988. There's 7 issues that were published. They were like 36-page digests. I'm gonna show you one. This is how they're really small. So this is how they look. So they're really small, and they are hard to find. These things are hard to find.
Yeah, because I'm looking and I don't see nothing. Because I would love to have that.
Now,
Yeah,
he does have some original artwork on eBay. I definitely bought some original artwork. I'm an original artwork collector. But he has some amazing original artwork still on eBay. I think at really good prices. I honestly, I specifically did not purchase it all because I love this. When we go through this character, I love this character so much. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna buy all of it and have a
No,
conversation.
wait a minute. Whoa.
What's that?
Whoa. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear what he just said? He said, I didn't buy it all. That means that he could. That means the wallet is long enough.
No.
You hear that? He can reach into the war chest.
No. It's very well priced. I feel like it's very well priced. Plus, I got in Bitcoin early. But I digress. Let's go back. Let's go back. So The Love Rangers is a sci-fi comic about a diverse crew of genetically engineered officers, robots, and explorers aboard the spaceship Home. The spaceship is called Home, housing 35,000 people. Their mission is to bring peace by resolving conflicts with this thing called love gas. That's kind of funny, but it's dope. They use this thing called love gas, right? Transforming hatred into compassion. While some action occurs on the ship, most unfolds on planets where the crew mediates disputes and fosters coexistence. Kind of give you a little Brown Hornet feel right there. You know, this whole galactic space thing going in, resolving resolutions, peaceful, like that. So you see two covers right now. This is the cover of the first issue. Now, they're all black and white, but he did the covers and he actually did them in color. So if you find the original art, typically you will find it in color. But the comics were printed. Now, the inside, I believe, were all done in black and white. So I think he only did, I don't know for sure, but I believe he only did the covers in color. So if you find the original artwork, typically you'll find them in color. For the covers. So the one on the left is a picture of the original artwork. And what's next to it is the actual cover. That is the hardest one to find. Number one is the hardest one to find. Now, Ohio, when I was doing research, Ohio State University, if you go to their website or just search Love Rangers, Bernie Grant, Ohio State University, they actually have a library and they have all 7 issues.
Wow.
Which is amazing. All 7 issues. And and then I show some smaller panels. I'm going to show larger panels too, but there's some smaller panels at the bottom under the content. I'll read this last quote note before we move on. Blending influences from manga, Star Trek, and Grant's military background, the series features racially diverse characters and co-commanders who share leadership. The Love Rangers emphasize hope, compassion, and humanity's potential for a positive change while acknowledging that peace may sometimes require force. So he didn't have a problem putting the foot on the neck, but he just give you a little gas when he's finished. You know what I'm saying? any questions?
Not at the moment.
All right. So we're going to go to some. All right. Hold on. I got a whole. Okay, here we go. I got a whole panel missing. All right. So these are actually some of the pages. So on the first one you see on the left, that's actually like an inside page of the comic. So these are actually comic books, inside page of the comic book. And what you're going to see, we're going to talk about him later. The black guy his name is Joshua. He was the captain. We're also going to talk about, does this fit in what we identify as Afrofuturism? Some say it does, some say it doesn't. I'm going to tell you what I think when we get to that part. But he is but everything revolves. He is the captain. He's like Captain Kirk. So there's a black guy named Joshua, and he pretty much is responsible for these missions. And the second one photo you see, that's the cover of number 3. So you see the manga style, and at the top you always see those images of the troops. If you notice, you can see the black visual makeup of the influences of those characters, which is, and even with Joshua, you can see it. And then the third one is issue number 4. Now, issue number 4 original artwork, for those interested, is on eBay for sale. So just letting you know, I think it's a very good price, in my opinion. So for those that are interested in it, just put on your watch list, but it is for sale. So I did purchase some original art. But I think, and as you notice that it's going to be in color. So when you see it, it's going to be in color. But number 4 is the actual black and white cover. So that's why I was saying earlier that sometimes they'll be actually, the covers will be in color, but the comics were actually printed in black and white. All right. Now, this is a conversation. People that are familiar with Bernie Grant, Love Rangers, they're familiar with this. Sometimes when you're having conversations, especially with people within our community, they start asking questions. Is this black? Is because the character is essential. It revolves around the central black character. Can we categorize this as Afrofuturism? So I labeled this a vision of unity and hope in a futuristic, diverse world. So this is the case that I have. This is me talking. I put the case for Afrofuturism. While the Love Rangers isn't explicitly Afrofuturistic, it shares key elements with the movement, particularly in its portrayal of a black protagonist, Captain Joshua, and his optimism in his optimistic vision of a diverse, inclusive future. The series imagines a galaxy where people of all races work together for peace and understanding, reflecting the core values of Afrofuturism, reimagining the future through a lens of racial unity, technology, and hope. The Love Rangers may not fit neatly into the Afrofuturism genre, but its themes of empowerment, diversity, and a hopeful, inclusive future resonate deeply with the movement's core ideas. So by centering a black leader in a futuristic narrative focused on cooperation and nonviolent conflict resolution, the Love Rangers aligns with Afrofuturism, broader goals of empowerment representation. But me personally, I don't know if I would say it's Afrofuturism. And the reason why is because those that are into Afrofuturism know that it goes beyond the surface, and the narrative itself has to speak to something socially, psychologically, that we're dealing with that carries over into that story. Things that we can inherently understand that this story represents not only who we are visually or as a race, but what we go through, what we experience, whether it's trauma, whether it's oppression or difficulties or different things like that. I don't know if this does that, but if somebody said it did, I wouldn't argue with them. And if someone said it didn't, I wouldn't argue.
It looks like the elements are there.
Right.
It looks like the elements are there. I haven't read the story, but
Right.
just from the artwork and the paragraph you put together, and I mean even from the photo, down to the Black Power. What's that pennant? It looks like he has.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So it looks like those elements are there.
It's there, and that's why I said I'm not. There's nuances in every genre, right? And I think maybe even you can even say there's a spectrum in every genre. Again, if someone said it did, I could see a strong case. You can make a really strong case. But I think because the narrative is more about diversity that centers around a black person, but it's not diversity that centers around the black experience. Does it make any sense?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's
that
why
makes perfect sense.
And I think that's why some people may say, you know what, I dig it. I think it's dope. I think it's cool. I don't know if it checks that box, but it definitely is a book that I might want to add to the collection. You know what I'm saying?
To me, it actually gives shades of because I'm old as dirt, but it gives shades of a couple of old anime. One was called Captain Harlock, and the other one was called Space Battleship Yamamoto, which over here was called All Star Blazers. But yeah, I mean, I can see the themes in it. I mean, what is argued as Afrofuturism could be argued, but I'm kind of inclined to agree how you just explained it, more so that it was, you know, a picture of diversity that's centered around the main character, which is the black guy, and as opposed to just
The
a
black experience
juxtaposition.
itself.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So
yeah. And I think many would want it to authentically speak to the black experience more than be centered around a black character that is playing the leading protagonist. So,
mm,
but again, like I said, I think there's an argument for either way. Now, these are other notable works of Vernon Grant, and Matt will tell you these go for a ticket. So, if you want to build a collection of Vernon Grant, you already know about the Love Rangers, those 7 uh, issue series of Love Rangers. But actually, the first work that he came up with was Stand By One. These are on eBay. They're not cheap, but they're not super expensive. They can be expensive. Like I think some can go as high as $700 for the book. Some can go as low as maybe like what was it, Matt? Maybe 120.
Yeah, 150. But you a really good copy. This is gonna set you back a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna set you back. Now there is a reprint, so if you're gonna buy that, you get this copy. This is the first print. This is the original copy. There were only 13,000 copies of that printed, so it was not a large print run at all. 13,000 copies for something printed in 1969. I would imagine you'd be lucky to find a fourth of that, a fourth of that. You'd be lucky. I don't even think it's that many out there. So I think that's probably why a lot of people, put such a premium on it when they list it on eBay. The second book is really expensive. It's even more rare. I don't know the print run, but it's almost impossible to find. Now there is one on eBay. How much they want for that one, Matt?
Which one? The monster?
A monster loose in Tokyo.
Let me see if I can find it again.
Yeah, I think they want that for about 500. Now I've only seen right now currently 2 of these on 2 of these online. One on eBay and one. How much they want?
500.
500. Okay. Now the reason why Monster Loose in Tokyo is kind of dope, from my understanding, that was one of his earlier manga-related works, or style works, or works that was more influenced by Japanese culture. And then the hardest book to find. Matter of fact, let me tell you how hard it's to find. I can't even find the cover. Now I own the book, but I can't even find the cover unless I took a picture of mine. It's the picture on the right. That's just represents some of the inside panels. It's called Point Man Palmer and His Girlfriend, Invisible Peppermint. That came out in 1969. Good luck finding that book. That book is almost impossible to find. It's black and white. I'll show you a picture of it because I have a copy. Because literally, I can't find a copy online to put it up. And so I figure I'll just show it today. That way, if anybody's looking for it, they can find it. But if you want to build a really dope Vernon Grant collection, I would say definitely these are the books you want. Definitely want the Love Rangers, and you want to grab these 2 books right here. We'll go to the last slide. All right, we're almost done. So in my research, this was how I looked at Vernon Grant. I put in a world that often overlooks the power of love and understanding. Vernon Grant dared to imagine a future where these forces could unite galaxies, bridge cultures, and heal conflicts. The Love Rangers is a vision of peace and possibility. It is a profound testament to the power of storytelling to inspire hope and change. Vernon Grant's visionary series broke new ground by blending Japanese manga influences with Western comic traditions, creating a racially diverse, peace-driven narrative. His mission to effect peaceful changes in critical situations through the use of love stands as a bold declaration of humanity's potential for compassion and understanding. Powered by discord and hate, the spaceship Home symbolizes the transformative journey from conflict to harmony, making the Love Rangers a timeless reflection of the belief in a better future for all. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Bible.
You did that. You did that. Man, the more you talking, that gotta be Afrofuturism, because it's just like, man,
it could fit. It could fit. It could fit. It really could. Yeah, it could fit.
Man.
You know, I would love people that are really into it. That you know, I've read some. I'm not really, you know, grounded in it, but I would love to hear their take. I would love to hear people that's really ingrained into it to see what their perspective is. You know, because I think it's a great conversation. Like I would love to see an Afrofuturism panel discuss the book. That would be absolutely phenomenal.
That would be.
That would be like absolutely amazing. And then at the end, you know, everyone on the panel determine like how does this fit within, you know, that genre. That I would love to watch that.
I would be interested in hearing what's the missing element. If not, what's the missing element if we're looking at everything in totality? And I would have to read the book too.
Yeah. So I've read some. I don't have all the issues because they're hard to find. You can't really find them online. But I would say, what I would probably say, someone would argue and say, it doesn't speak to the Black experience in totality. It doesn't go to the four corners of what Black people experience and how that translates into this future ecosystem, right? Or this future environment that the writer is presenting and developing, and how we can understand what we're experiencing now, what we may have experienced, and how that fits into this particular narrative. I think that may be what some people may say. But I think some people may overlook that and say, okay, again, let's look at it contextually, right? I think I always say, you know, one of the problems I have today is that with the advent of so much information coming at you, social media, TikTok, as soon as somebody sends me a link, I'm automatically skeptical. Like 99.99999. I don't care if they send me a link and say, man, you're a really cool person. I'm gonna look it up and see if it's true. But what I'm saying is, I think we don't understand how to put things in context. And if you look at it contextually, at the time, you may say, okay, it's absolutely Afrofuturism for its time. If you're trying to compare it to what modern authors are writing today, maybe it would not stand up to it. I don't know. But that would be a lot of things, right? Like you could like look at older comic book artists that, you know, we look at their styles that they're drawing in the 40s and 50s, and we look at what people are doing today. You got to contextualize.
Most definitely.
You can't. It's not, you know, it's not apples and oranges. You have to really make sure you understand like the techniques, the equipment, everything that we have today is completely different. And then just the exposure and the understanding and how to go out and find ways to evolve your style is much faster now than it would be back then. But I think that'd be a great conversation. I would love someone to have that conversation. If anybody has that conversation, if y'all do the video, man, send me an alert. I'd love to watch it. I would love to sit down.
Yeah. And I mean, if you just think about even that time, the thought, the dream of the Black experience, nonviolence, getting to this point, like we kind of still there in a sense, socially, right? We kind of still there.
And you picked up on something that a lot of people would not have saw. You saw the Black Power. You know, he talks. You know, the book talks about how love and hate is sometimes is fueling this engine, right? I mean, hate is fueling this engine, and they have to counteract that, right? So hate is sometimes getting you to the destination, which is crazy. And this is the nuance to this book. Like it's basically saying that I'm arriving at a place based on based on hatred. But what am I going to do when I get there? You see what I'm saying?
I get it. That's society.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. And we deal with that today. You know, many of us are operating in so many different echo chambers. And it's so tribal. And, you know, once you get hooked to a tribe, it doesn't matter if somebody says something that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Is that because now I just want to find someone that agrees with me. Because if you agree with me, you make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So hatred can take you somewhere, but what are you gonna do when you get there? So it's really dope. So I hope y'all enjoyed it, man.
Outstanding.
I did. That's all I got to say. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll be back for the other ones.
Yep. Next, we're back on our regular schedule next Saturday. We do have to do this before we go. Rico, panel, anybody? You want to
I'm
share?
gonna do it. Hold on, real quick. Let me grab something. I gotta grab something real quick.
Yep. Yeah. Do you have anything, brother?
No, I haven't been to the comic store in like 2 weeks, man. So,
Brother Bradley, you got anything you want to share, brother?
Yeah, I did pick something up. Let me go grab that. I did pick something up.
Got you.
Steve is sending my shout out to Steve White. He's sending my my X-Men number 2.
What was the grade? What did you get the grade on it, man?
It was a 5, I think. 5. Yeah.
That's bad. 5, bro. That's all right.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit, right there, brother.
Yeah, it was 5 and a half. He's sending something else to
All right,
me.
man. I figured if I'm gonna do it, I had to grab my book, man. So y'all know we just got through talking about this is my grail.
Wow. Rico. Wow.
This is my grail.
Rico.
I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Heavyweight champ
of the world.
I actually got this
beautiful book.
I actually got this last year at the Ruben Blades collection that was auctioned at Comic Connect, I believe. And what was so funny was I think I might have bought 5. I don't think I bought 5 comic books last year because I haven't really been buying comics. And when I saw this book, I said I'm gonna win this book. I said I'm gonna win this book. And fortunately, I think I got a steal, man. So
yeah, that's highway robbery, man. Highway robbery.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the book. I got a few more I want to show you, man, real quick. This is the book I want to show you guys. This was the book I said is very hard to find. Find it because you can't find this picture online. So this is another book of Vernon Grant. This is the Point Man Palmer and his invisible his girlfriend Invisible Peppermint. So this is the book. It's a comic book. It's a literal comic book. But he did a lot of stuff in black and white. But this book is almost impossible to find. And let me show you a few more. And you saw this book right here. If you're looking for Vernon Grant book, This is the Monster Loose in Tokyo. I didn't pay $500. I didn't pay close to that. So, and then this is the Stand By One.
Nice.
Supreme.
So
I gotta get that Monster in Tokyo.
That's my home.
All right.
Now break out that Malcolm X rookie card. No, just
I'll say that for the next one.
Now, so real quick, we like our Second Amendment covers. I grabbed this just from the Killmonger series, the 1 in 25, the Jeff DeCal. Brian Hill did a really good job on this series. I hate it was so short.
I know you're glad you waited to get it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh man,
you saved some bank on that, bro.
Listen, all of those Black Panther books that spiked at the peak and the popular and all of that, man, they came down. You're getting them next to nothing, man. You're getting them next to nothing now. So I'm grabbing them while I can before the tariffs come. So
yeah. All right, I've got a few. I picked up a few things, but I do have some stuff that I have that was actually here in my house. I am actually going through the process of cleaning out my grandmother's old beauty shop, and so I'm just coming by jewel after jewel after jewel. So we're gonna start with some of these right
Oh
here.
Lord.
Oh yeah, we're gonna start with some shampoo,
Them the old school ones.
old school. Yep.
Nice, nice. You don't even see those on eBay.
Nah, can't find this stuff anywhere. Hair and beauty preview.
Nice.
Hey y'all, Matt about to pull out a dark and lovely comic book.
We got beauty.
You know, he gonna pull out a Soul Glow comic.
Dudley Q.
Oh, that's a classic.
Now that is a classic, bro. That is a classic.
And then last is these go. I got this a few months back. We have Negro Digest. Now,
Yes.
give you a history. A lot of people don't know what Negro Digest is. Rico, don't answer it. You know. Bradley, do you know what Negro Digest is?
No, I do not.
Al, do you know what Negro Digest is?
Is Reader's Digest for Negroes, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, at the time it was, but this is the precursor to Jet Magazine.
Precursor
Oh,
Jet.
okay.
These are the precursors of Jet. Yep. So these are extremely tough to come by, man.
No. Matter of fact, they sell for a nice little ticket on eBay.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Question: did they have the Negro Digest Beauty of the Weekend now?
Not in that particular issue. I did pick this up. Shout out to my homeboy Cedric Smith, man. I did pick this book up. This is a photo book playing for the benefit of the band.
Nice.
This is about down in New Orleans celebrating the jazz. But it's a photo book. And so it's got a lot of cool photos in it, man, from back then.
Nice.
Shoot, it made me think about something else. I think I got another one down there. Hold on, y'all. Another book. Yep, right here. This is another book that I picked up. Photo book I picked up called Black and White America.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I think I'm interested in
I
that.
like that typeface.
This is a book that was taken during the civil rights movement. Well, for photography, it was taken all during the civil rights movement. And so,
Wow.
bunch of great stuff. And then last but not least, this book here is this is Bahia, Rio São Francisco, and this is, I'm gonna try to get my Portuguese correct. This is Rescavo in Salvador. This is a book. This is a really cool book. This book goes over the African. It's a photo book about African lineage in Brazil. And so you get a chance to see what life was back in the early 1930s. And the coolest part about it is you get to see black life of what it was like in Brazil
Right.
back then.
And that's dope because don't Brazil got like the second or third largest like
Brazil
black?
is the second largest
Second. Okay, second.
concentration of Africans outside of the continent, outside Africa. Yeah. So you can see all this cool stuff, man. So yeah, that's it for me, man. But
Man, that's dope. I got
Wow,
to
man,
look
that's
at some of those
crazy,
photos.
That's crazy.
yeah, so that's that, man. That is it.
And I want to say I wasn't looking at the comments, so man, thanks to everyone for all the nice comments. Looking at a lot of the comments, man, I appreciate you guys. Just all the nice comments you all shared, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back again on our regular Saturday for episode 2 of our annual Black History Show. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you'll hear when we go live. I want to say thanks for everybody joining us on this Sunday evening. Shout out to everybody who came through and showed love. Rico, once again, man, outstanding job as always, man. Always the one of the most looked upon things that we get to this towards this part of the year this is one of my favorite things to do. So
Yes.
thoroughly enjoy it. All right, sweet. Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that?
Who that? Who that?
Who that in the building? Who that in the building? Down there playing in the snow a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
Slide
we
down
got,
purple.
we got crazy snow.
Yeah, I know it's wild, man. And then now it's
Crazy snow, man. I'm
like
like,
green this week.
we don't normally get snow like that in North Florida. We like, man, we got crazy.
Yeah,
And I got a crazy snow bill.
bro. I don't even want to talk about that gas bill I got this month.
Oh yeah, you know what? You know what? I saw mine too.
Yeah,
I saw
Rough.
mine too.
rough.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you all next weekend. Have a good
Thank
night.
you all.
Peace.